Welcome to the Future of Our Families podcast and talk show. I'm your host, Dr. Janet Hogan Lamar, and I am so excited to be here with you today. We have a panel of hosts that have collaborated together to talk about this amazing topic. What is going on with the families, the future of our families? So we're so excited to be here. And so because we all are hosts, I'm going to allow them to introduce themselves. But before I do that, I need you to do one quick thing for me. Go and text, go and call someone and tell them this is one show they do not want to miss. So I'm excited this morning.
Yeah.
How are you all doing?
We're doing good.
Great.
I am excited to be so connected to such awesome people that are serving our community. And what I'm going to do, I want each of you just to kind of give your name, kind of tell your name of your company, and then we're going to dive into this topic. All right, Pastor.
Oh, you're going to go with me first, okay? I am Pastor Shannon Amos, and I am the director of Families of Victory in Macon Middle, Georgia, and we're just excited about being here. Thank you so much. We service the great community really all around the world, so
awesome.
We're just thankful that God has chosen us for a time such as this.
Awesome.
So good to be here.
Glad I'm here. My name is Laura Lamoury, and I am the CEO of Transformational Pathways, which is a therapeutic organization, and what I try to do is bring my clients in and we talk about past experiences and we look at behaviors that maybe could hinder them in some way as they're traveling through this life and as they're working on their careers. And I'm also a career coach and life coach, and I'm right here in Macon, Georgia.
Woo!
Awesome.
My name is Brian Hall. I'm a motivational speaker, and I also write on a book. I'm an author too. My book is called The Big Day, and I'm from Edenton, Georgia.
All right.
Awesome. And I know that we are actually live, but I do notice one thing. I do see this, that on social media, we're turned in a different direction. So if somebody can please help us out and make sure we are looking good on social media. All right. So again, I'm excited to be here today. We are excited about this topic, the future of our families. We know there's a lot of things taking place in the family, universally. We know this is a very broad topic. So what I want to zoom in, I really just want to zoom in on families right now, like just generally, what do you see? Like, just for me, I know there's a lot taking place within our school system. Parents are having to work 2 and 3 jobs just to make ends meet, and our children seems to be suffering because the parents have to work, just to make the ends in their home financially. So let's kind of dive in on talking about, what do we see, like the impact on our young people? Because right now, the future is our children.
Right.
We are here, but really the future is our young people.
Right.
So let's talk about them today. Let's talk about, what have you actually witnessed and noticed, because of the impact of our parents having to work so much. Now our children, they are babysitting themselves.
Right.
So let's kind of talk about that.
And you know what, Dr. Lamar, and I don't know if Dr. Laura, that's right? Is seeing the same thing, but it's almost a generational tendency, if you will, because it just didn't start where the kids are raising themselves, as we call them, latchkey kids. Nobody's there to get them or take them and do the homework and all that stuff. So it's a generational tendency, but it's like it's growing.
Right.
Almost like the snake skin, when he shed his skin, it doesn't mean that he is, going smaller as he's dead, or it means that he's outgrown that and it's getting bigger. And that's what I see is happening in the families of today, that same problem, where the children are now raising themselves, and now the grandchildren are raising the cousins because everybody's at work trying to make the dollar.
Right.
And not to mention all the other trauma that goes along with being left alone. And it also has intensified in our families of today.
Yeah.
Do you see any of that?
Yeah, I see the same thing. I have also was teaching art at the Tubman. And so we get groups of children, like 100 at a time. And what I found is that they are lacking touch.
Wow.
So as I would teach an art class, I made it my business to touch every child. And they'll come in hard, like, I'm not going to talk, I'm not going to do this project, and that kind of thing. But after a touch, And after some encouragement, but giving some positive feedback, which they seem to be yearning for, is that positive feedback.
Right.
I found that by the time the class ended, which was only like a half an hour, they were ready to give me a hug and to thank me. And it was wonderful. But so you know, just in that instant,
Right.
in those 30 minutes, that's what's missing.
Wow.
That touch,
Right.
that hug, that affirmation.
Yes.
Right.
So that's what I see happening,
Yes.
and that is a need, I think, within the family, because parents are doing everything.
Right,
You know, this
exactly.
one mom, she's everywhere
Right,
doing everything.
exactly,
So
right.
she needs somebody to help her on that end of it.
So I can look at that and vouch for that, because touch is everything. If I touch you, it does something. And so sometimes if the parents are working all the time, that child or that teen, they miss that hug. You know, they miss that, or you greeting them in a certain way, like you say, affirmations, or saying something to them, or talking about their day. Because if they're working 7 to 3 one shift, and then they work 3 to 11 the next shift, then there is no time for them to actually see the child, because now they're in bed. So if it, like you say, if we can fill in, whoever that we may be, could be a mentor, could be
Right.
someone working, like you said, at a museum or what have you. But if we can take the initiative and say, go and touch them, go and hug them, that could mean the world of the difference to them.
That's right.
Exactly. What about you, Ryan?
And I'm gonna feedback off what y'all said, like the touch. But what come with the touch is love. They're looking for love too. They're looking for somebody to tell them every day that I love you. And once you tell a kid every day that you love them, they're gonna start striving for best and strive to do right and strive to not let you down. So I think they're looking for love and touch.
That's
what
right.
He is, you were right
Yes.
on the right
That's
on the money. I
right.
had a
That's
foster
right.
son, and I had to ask the Lord, because he was 15 at the time, and it was kind of hard for me to break through. And I had to ask the Lord, what should I do? And it was a simple thing. When he goes to bed, give him a kiss and tell him you love him.
That's right.
Kiss him on the cheek and tell him you love him.
That's good.
And of course, we have to remember that touch is something that we have to ask permission to do.
Right.
You know, with any child, is it okay? And it's just touching a shoulder or something. But just that touch and that love, like Brian said.
And I want to say this too, because again, the future of families, a lot of people may not know how it evolved. Again, it evolved because of lots of abuse as a child, you know, abuse sexually and things of that nature, and then growing up with a lot of rejection, and then with the rejection, you know, there was no one to ever help me deal with it. And so just up until last year, 2022, that I actually came face to face with it, and God was like, okay, now you got to become transparent. You got to talk about it. You need healing from it. And so I want to say this, you know, when my mom passed at age 4, I was 14 going to 15. I never knew my dad up until then. And so with that being said, there was anger because my mom was gone. And then I didn't know my dad. And so I had my grandmother, but I had built this wall up because I really wanted my mom to be there with me. And so when that wall was built up, I didn't allow anybody to love me because I wanted her to be there. And so growing up, that's why we're talking about the future of our families, the impact what it has on the child. So growing up, then what happened, because there was the love, I had this wall, and then no one could get in, then I didn't receive the love. Not that it wasn't there. In some instances it was and it was not, but then I had my own children. So when I had my own children, what happened? The cycle that I walked in, the trauma, the hurt and the pain, it came with me. So then what happened? I was not able to do that to my children, even though I loved them. There were many a times I want to grab and hug them. I would see other parents walking through the park and, you know, hugging their children, holding on, but because I was hurt and I wanted that same thing. So it makes a difference that you take the initiative. Yes, get permission, but sometimes within our own family, we still got to do it. If you know you have an aunt or uncle or nephew or someone, you notice they have children and there is no love and there is nothing, then we have to take the initiative, kiss them on the forehead, love on them, because that can make the world of a difference, because I have lived it. Come on, y'all, jump in.
Let me tell you, that is so true. And Dr. Lamar, I tell you, love is an action
Yes.
word. And see, love is. Love is being. Love and love is really God. And so a lot of people don't really understand love, so they don't understand how to share the love.
Right.
Like you said, or receive it.
Yes.
And like you said, it's a generational tendency. That's what I call it. It's you birth out of where you are in that state, you know,
Right.
and in the state that most of us that I know of is not always the best state,
Right.
you know, because of the past childhood trauma. And you give birth, so when you're not healed, when you're going through that birthing season, just like your DNA, just like your chromosomes,
Right.
that child don't just look like you image-wise, same color hair, same color eyes, same color skin tone, or
Right.
whatever. What about the interior of that person?
Yes,
And I believe
yes.
this is where all of us come together to help nurture these children at this stage in our families.
Exactly.
This is the future of our families.
Exactly,
And
exactly.
building this faith-based ecosystem.
That's it, that's
because
it.
it's going to take a village, all of us.
All of
I
us.
need her services. I need your services.
Right.
I have kids.
Exactly.
I need his services.
Right.
So, and I really believe right now what I've seen in Families of Victory and the children that are coming through there, Doctor, is so many of them need your actions to match your words.
Right,
Not
right.
just say, but also do.
Exactly.
So we can preach to them all day long. We can pray for them, but they need to see it because you love me, but look what you did to me.
Right,
You love
right.
me, but you left me.
Yeah, I think it's time we talk about the children and we talk about the adults too, because parents need that love.
Oh, yes.
They need that affirmation, because if they came from a trauma or
Right.
whatever, they have not learned to get through that yet.
Right.
Exactly.
So they're trying to teach their children in the way they should go when they sometimes don't know which way that is.
Exactly. Right.
You know?
Right.
For instance, I had a brother-in-law who, because of the things that he went through as a child, not having his parents there, that kind of thing, just someone saying to him, I'm gonna hug you, he would be like jumping back. He would jump back. And for the longest time, I would just do that intentionally. Every time I saw him, is give him a big hug. Till eventually, it got to the point where his arms were open to hug me. So it's a trained thing that we even have to help adults with.
Right.
That's right.
Right.
You know, and that just continues, I think, so we can break that cycle.
Right.
We've got to help the adults as well.
Exactly. What do you have to say about that, Ryan?
And y'all see, like you say, you gotta help the adults. The adult and kid gotta help each other. So that's why I think every day of the day, they gotta at least spend like, I ain't gonna say 30 minutes, at least 10 minutes of just talking to each other.
Yes, absolutely.
You gotta be verbal with each other. If you don't talk about it, we ain't gonna know. You ain't gonna know each other. You just living in the house together. You gotta spend time,
My.
10 to 5 minutes. That's all it takes.
That's right.
That's
Come on,
all
Ryan.
That's right.
That's what I'm
all it
talking
take.
about. That's
Yeah,
it.
That's all it takes.
That's it.
Communicate.
You're right.
Communication is the key.
Yes.
And once the parents get there, and once the child get there, the relationship will come so tight where nobody will be able to break it.
My.
Yes, talk about
Nobody
it.
will be able to break it.
Awesome.
That's right. Communication.
Yes.
But once you get the communication down, then that's when you have to start bringing God in the midst. That's when you have to start
Yes.
praying together.
Yes.
A family that pray
Come on,
together.
Ryan.
A family that pray together, stay together.
Yes.
Go ahead.
And that is true.
That's
It's living facts.
That's it.
right.
It's true. You just got to believe in it.
Yes.
Put it to work.
That's right.
Put it to action. You will see
Come on
it
now.
works.
That's good.
God work, people.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, I like
yes,
that.
Yes, and I'm
everything-
excited for
communication.
Yes,
Some
communication.
of that communication is so important.
Right.
When you think about how much time a child is looking at a screen and not talking
Wow.
to anybody.
That's right.
You know, and that just becomes their way of life then. You know,
Exactly.
they don't learn how to interact with other people.
Exactly.
And so how do you learn love off of a screen?
But not only just the screen, you have the screen and different faucets. You have the TV. You have your cell phone. Really, most kids, this is their TV, their iPad. So you can just do away with the regular TV because they watch this rather than watch their iPad. And so this is the thing about, you know, we are here to make a difference.
Yes.
Someone has to vocalize and become that voice. And one thing that everybody's speaking, again, the key thing is communication. I think can I borrow that? Can I make me a t-shirt? Communication is the key, and put a big key on it. I think I'm about to brand
That's
that.
awesome.
But again, we are excited to be here talking about, the future of our family, because again, it is about our young people.
Yes.
We have to take a stand. We have to vocalize. We have to not only, present the problem, but then we have to present a solution.
Right.
One thing about I never want to do a show of any kind without having some principles and application. So if there's anything that anybody needs to take away today, Ryan said something, Laura said something, Pastor Shannon said something, but we want to make sure 5 or 10 minutes, just hug on them. If they're asleep, give them kiss and wake them up in the morning, whatever needs to be, but there needs to be some type of communications. Not only that, young people need to hug on the parents, because sometimes the parents are waiting for that same love. They're waiting for that same hug, because every family don't have a spouse. Some are single.
That's right.
And then I hear God saying that some have spouses, but they still don't get the hug.
That's
so
right.
husbands and kings and queens, hug each other, and
That's
then bring the
right.
children in and hug on them. Can we get a hand clap on that?
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about. Amen. Awesome. Again, you have been watching the Future of Our Families podcast and talk show. We hope that you join us again. Go and tell somebody about what's going on. We want you to become a part as well. But at the same time, if you are in the area of you're a counselor, a therapist, you may be a financial person, whatever field you're in or industry, we want you to reach out to us. We'll make sure we make that information known to you. Again, thank you again for watching the Future of Our Families. We are going for a quick break. Do not go nowhere. As they would say, don't touch that dial. We'll be right back.
My name is Starlet Edwards, and I do thank the Lord that He's given me the gift to help people with their health. I make, depending on what's going on with the client, I do create special health blends for them. I am a trained natural health consultant and also a reflexologist and a nutritionist. I'm also looking out for your health to teach you the natural way, because the body can naturally heal itself if given the proper nutrients, the proper food, the proper herbs. Your body can naturally heal itself. I don't tell anybody to get off their current medications at all, because once you start feeding your body what it needs, your doctor should be able to release you from any medication that you're on. Awesome. And I am here for you all. I don't try to rob your pocketbook. I'm here to help you. I'm here to help each and every last one of you. And this door is open not only for just health consulting, it's also open for any type of event that you would like to host here, any type of empowerment event. My contact number is 478-250-3886. My website is www.brandedwellness.net.
We want to thank you for being one of our favorite sponsors, and not only that, for opening up your facility, and then not only that, we're the first one to ever broadcast in your facility.
Yes, and I was so excited about that, and I appreciate you. I appreciate Jesus for bringing you my way.
All right, thank you so much. All right.
Amen.
Welcome back. Welcome back to the Future of Our Families. And we are just discussing what's going on right now in the world of families, and what are those things that we can do to help each other to improve and do better and show that love that we all know is in there. It's got to come out, and it will strengthen our family. So I'm going to turn this right over to Dr. Lamar.
Okay, well, we are all in this together. We are so excited about what's taking place, and just continue this to talk about and discuss. We was talking about communication is the key. Just like right now, you just said, I'm going to turn it back over to the hands of Dr. Lamar. If there was no communication, I really wouldn't have a cue as to when. If you can, but communication is so key and vitally important. I'm not sure we having a visitor today. I don't know. Did you invite somebody to come in today? I don't know. I don't know.
For a surprise.
I don't know. Always, the bell is always ringing. Exactly. But we are so excited to be here. We want to make sure we provide some principles, and solutions to families. One thing I learned in the world of business, we always talk about allocating time, because sometimes people always say, or families, even myself have said this at times, I don't have enough time. There's not enough time in the day to do this or do that. But what I learned in the business world, we talk to small business owners and we always say, how much time can you allocate for your business?
Right.
Now, we're going to flip that and say, how much time can we allocate communicating, showing love with the family, with our children? Because again, Ms. Laura, you made a vital point. The screen, the phone, the iPad now is the way. If you're at the table, now people are communicating in the bedroom, they're texting. Come on now.
Right next
they're
to each
they're
other.
right next to each other. They like, did you not read my text? I'm like, did you not open your mouth?
Right
Like,
next to
really?
each other.
Exactly. So we have got to look at how can we allocate time now. Let's look at some strategies for the families. We have to go back to eating dinner.
Right.
We have to go back to sitting
Yes.
around discussing, you know, what took place at work, what took place at school. We have to.
Yes.
We have to make and tell. Let's put the phone down.
Yes.
Let's put it on silent.
Right.
Let's turn it off right now.
Right.
So let's talk about some
Right.
solutions, some
Right.
strategies.
Well, one of the things that we recommend, and I do in my own personal family, and they do call me like the Sarge, but I believe that anything that is out of order needs to be put in order.
Exactly. Right.
And even in our families, we need order and structure in the family.
That's right.
And God actually set that order.
He did.
And we must return to that order. First of all, as a people, as a generation, if we go back and return to the order of the way things are done and take inventory of the people you have in your family. You have at work, you have different job descriptions, you have different gifts, you have different all different things that different people like to do.
Right.
And the same structure that and time and energy we put in business, family actually comes first.
Exactly.
And you know, I go back to the Bible, the originator, before he did anything else, he set order.
Right.
He set order. And then before ministry, before work, before any of that, there was order and everybody had job descriptions to do.
Exactly.
So in our house, we have what's called SOPs.
Okay.
There's a standard operating procedure.
Okay.
Not
good.
rules and regulations.
That's good.
It's how we operate this ship right
That's
here.
it. That's
no,
good.
we're not perfect, but I guarantee you, if you can go back to the board of how things are being done when things get out of order or chaos hit the house, which
Right.
it does, you can pinpoint who jumped ship from which side that they're supposed to be on. And then
Exactly.
you have to speak it and put it back into order. Communicate.
Communication. Exactly. That's exactly.
Communication.
Come on, Ms. Laura.
I was thinking about, there's a book that's called The 5 Love Languages.
Yes.
And I think it's so important to know each person that's in your family, to know what it is that motivates them. How do they see love? Like, some people see love because you give them a gift, others because you tell them that how great they are, or how well they did something. And that book kind of does that. So if I could think of a thing, that would be
Yes.
one thing. If the parents could read that book and really look at their children and say, okay, Beverly loves that I talk to her and tell her that it's going to be okay. And that's the way I need to communicate to her so that she can really be developed into everything that she is. So that would be one suggestion, is looking for some books, some education, because as parents, we're supposed to train the child as the way the
That's
Lord would have
right.
them to go. So
That's right.
we've got to be studying all the time so we can make sure that we're hitting on all the notes that that child needs.
Awesome. Awesome.
Well, what I can say is maybe the parents and the kids need to start cooking together. Everybody love food. So when you get when you get together and eat,
That's right.
it make everybody happy.
That's right.
Food make everybody happy.
Yes, it does. See, I'm happy now.
I know, right?
So I think we just need to start cooking together.
Absolutely.
The mama need to teach the girls how to cook.
That's
Dad
right.
need to teach
Come on, Ryan.
guys how to cook on the grill. Maybe it'll make everybody happy. Food make everybody happy. So that's what I think. We just need to eat more.
That's
Well, you know what? And you know, I'm a very visual person, and sometimes I tell people whenever I'm in the midst of a show, I get texts and tweets from the Lord. I know it sounds strange, but what if we launch a show where parents and their parents are actually cooking on the show, preparing a
There you
meal? What about that?
That's awesome.
That would be a form of communication,
That's
and that
awesome.
you know, because there's a lot of young people would love to learn how to cook. So maybe we
Right.
do a show where we're actually preparing a meal. We put parents together with their children,
That's
and
awesome.
we just do that. I think
That's
that'll be
awesome.
awesome. So
Great.
Everybody loves cooking.
That's
Everybody
right.
loves eating, I meant to say.
They like that.
So I like that, you know, and I would say this, just like we take our calendars and we schedule everything, you know, I live by my phone because it's just simple, it's simplified. You know, once upon a time it was the handheld calendars.
Right.
We would take and write everything. So now I put everything on my phone, and what happens is it has an alert for me, and so I schedule everything on the phone because that's again how we teach small business owners about allocating time. So why parents need to, if your schedule is so busy, find a time that you and your child can have, if it's just 30 minutes.
That's right.
We used to have something called movie night when my kids were younger. Movie night on Thursday. That means no matter what's going on, that's the time that we have movie night. Whether we find a movie on TV, we would get food and eat. And Ryan, you're right. It was that we were eating. We were actually eating. Everybody would pick out pizza, wings, and this and that. It's like sometimes we have more food than we had time to eat it. But you were right. The food was a part of it because it was an excitement, because we knew on Thursday night they will order what they want to eat, and we will order a movie on TV. So yes, what you about to say?
And that's what my stepdad do every Thursday. He gonna find something to cook on the grill. So that's why I get that. That's why I get that from. And it make everybody in the house happy, because we know every Thursday he finna cook on that grill. I don't know where they gonna be, but he gonna cook on the grill.
Yeah, so ladies, so we need to come and see what you all take off. I love grill food. We already know it first. Exactly. But this is what I want to do. I know our time is winding down. I really want us to take this time really to speak to that mom or that dad that may be watching, and they are sitting there and they're saying, you don't really understand my struggle. You don't understand what we're going through. You don't understand that we barely can make ends meet. So they're working all day, and when they get in, their child is asleep, or they're allowing, like you say, the uncle, the niece, the nephew, who are children themselves, to watch. And we do have that happening because they can't afford child care. What would you leave with them? What thought would you leave them today?
Just take it one day at a time and keep believing. Pray and keep moving. That's all I got.
One day at a time. Awesome.
Pray and keep moving. Take it one day at a time.
Awesome.
And I'd probably like to just tell you that somebody cares about you. And it's probably somebody in your circle already. And if you'll just open up and talk to them and tell them some of those things, those secret things that you keep putting off, you don't want to tell anybody because you're embarrassed or you're stressed about it. Tell someone and talk it out, because you'll find that there's solutions if you'll just talk it out, communicate. So, love you.
Awesome.
That's awesome. I would say don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on your family. It is not time to cave in, give up, and quit. That is the moment that you're really ready to step into victory. And if you could just hold on and hold out, remember, every family really is graced to be victorious. You really already have the victory. You just need the tools. And we're here. We're here.
Yes.
Call the network, QENTV 7. They got it on the screen. And then, or Families of Victory, or either one of us, get in touch with Apostle Lamar, and she can get in touch with us. We're here to help. We have these businesses, we have the outreaches, we have all kinds of plethora of information. This woman right here has so many contacts. We are here to help.
Yes,
Don't give up. It is not all at a loss. You win already. Let us come in and help you and show you what to do and how to do it, and bring that structure back into your family's life.
That's good. That's good. And I want you, those that are watching, maybe you're in a certain industry. Maybe you're a therapist, you're a counselor, maybe you're a school teacher, you might be a retired military person. Whatever area that you're in, we want you to actually collaborate, because again, building this ecosystem, it entails all stakeholders that can provide a service or a product to a family. So we need you just like you need us. And so again, our information will be provided. Also, those that are watching us all over the world, you can actually put your information into those live streaming areas, and make sure you contact us, each and every one of us. We want you to collaborate, because again, at one point in time, they said this. They said, take a village to raise your child. Right now, it's taking a village for our families. And so we have to do this together. So if you want to volunteer, you are in a certain industry, whatever it is, we want your help. I think it's, what is it, the Army says, we want what?
You.
All right, so that's what we're saying today. We really want your help. So again, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us here today with the Future of Our Families talk show and podcast. Again, we love you and thank you.